One of my roles while I'm here on St Kilda is in biosecurity monitoring. Now that might not sound like the most exciting job, but it is one of the most important aspects to keeping St Kilda and its wildlife safe. St Kilda is way out into the Atlantic Ocean, and so it's been protected from invasive species for centuries. Things like rats and hedgehogs and mink. Rats have never been recorded here on St Kilda, and the introduction of them would be catastrophic for the ground nesting birds. Now that St Kilda is more connected to the outside world by the boats that are arriving every week, one of my roles is making sure that rats cannot come off those boats onto the island. And there are several ways in which I do this. So this is the feather store where the St Kildans would have stored their feathers. And one of the bits of advice I was given when I first started this role was to think like a rat. So we're placing these bait boxes in places where rodents would like to hang out or hide, and obviously around walls and in buildings is one of their favourite hangouts. So these bait boxes are filled with these little blocks of harmless flavoured wax, which are meant to be enticing for rodents so that they come up and have a nibble, and then we can go back and check them and see what the bite marks, if any, look like, to check that it is just mice and not rats. There are loads of St Kilda mice on the island here, and they are regularly having a little nibble. It's doing them no harm at all, but what we want to make sure is that we're not getting teeth marks from rats, because if we do, there's a rat on the island and that's trouble. There are two main types of boat that would arrive here on the island. The first are tourist boats, which moor out in the bay and then bring their passengers to this jetty. And the second is a big supply ship, which brings food and equipment to the people working here on the island. Now when that supply ship's in, its ramp comes straight down onto the beach. There's a much higher chance of invasive species like rats and hedgehog and mink getting onto the island that way. So when it's here, I have to sit and watch the ramp the entire time it's down on the island to make sure that nothing gets off. So these are the live traps that we put out for a few days after the supply ship's been in, and we put a bit of peanut butter and porridge inside to try and entice any rodents in. I mean, if I was a rat and I'd just been a stowaway on a ship for a few days, I'd probably be interested in that too. And we tend to find quite a lot of St Kildan mice in the traps because there's loads of them here in the village. So as soon as we find a mouse, we let it out, no harm done. But that's the idea, is that just in case something slipped through the net, we find it in the trap and it doesn't escape onto the rest of the island. There are 10 of these live traps set around the village and bait boxes spread across the entire archipelago. If a rat is found, there's an incursion response which can be rolled out immediately, and altogether that forms a really good cohesive plan to keep these islands safe from invasive creatures. It's not just invasive animals that are a threat to the wildlife here, but also pathogens such as bacteria, fungi and viruses. So all visitors are required to walk through this mat here that's impregnated with disinfectant before they're allowed onto the island.
If you're planning a boat trip to St Kilda, you can do your bit for biosecurity by following the check, clean, close rule. Please check your bag and clothes for pests, clean your boots or shoes with disinfectant, and tightly close any food containers since they can attract stowaways onto boats or into bags. Thank you.